Good morning, all. I'm Kamala, Assistant Professor from CSE Department, explaining about syntax directed translation. So, what is syntax directed translation? So, the syntax directed translation is a context free grammar and is used to evaluate the order of semantic rules. So, what is the semantic rules? For any context free grammar, for any context free grammar, the value which is associated with its production is called as semantic actions or called as semantic rules. So these are the semantic rules for the given context free grammar. Simply the value is represented right side of the productions is called as a semantic action. So this is a semantic action. So this entire thing is called as a syntax directed translation. Okay, now this syntax directed translation is used to evaluate the parse tree either in the bottom up or else in the top down approach. So to do this, the syntax directed translation consists of the following values called as lex values, constants, and attributes associated to the non-terminals in their definitions. And this syntax tree or parse tree compute the values of attributes at the nodes of the tree by visiting the nodes is called as a syntax directed translation and is represented by the following example. For example, if I have an expression 2 plus 3 into 4, now how to evaluate this expression using SDT? Before evaluating or before translating this expression using this SDT, first of all construct its SDD. SDD is nothing but the context free grammar for the given expression and its semantic action. So these are the context free grammar and semantic actions for the given expression. Okay, so once SDD is over, then construct the syntax tree. After that, evaluate the syntax tree by using its semantic actions. Now observe here. Here I have a value f dot value. Here f dot value I am replacing with some lex value. Here the lex value in the given expression is 2. So this 2 I'm representing here, and the 2 is replaced with f is replaced with t is replaced with e. So my e contains 2. And similarly here 3 is replaced with f is replaced with t, so that my t contains 3. And similarly here 4 is replaced with f. So here I have a 4, this while I have 3. So 3 into 4 is called 12. And this node contains 12 and this node contains 2. So 2 plus 12 is nothing but a 14. So this is called as a evolution order using SDT for the given expression. Okay, this SDT follows an order is called as top down, left to right. Annotated parse tree. Annotated parse tree is a syntax tree in which each and every node is evaluated with some value is called as annotated parse tree. For example, construct annotated parse tree for the given expression. Before constructing the annotated parse tree, first of all, we should write the context-free grammar and also its semantic rules for the given expression. So that combination of context-free grammar and its semantic rules is called as a SDD. So the SDD for the given expression is, this is the SDD for the given expression. Here I have E tends to E dollar, E tends to E plus T, E tends to T tends to T into F, T tends to F tends to E bracket, F tends to digit. So uh, this is my context free grammar. For this context free grammar, here I have some semantic actions. So this entire thing is called as an SDD. Once we have an SDD, then we'll construct the parse tree. So this E is replaced with E and dollar. This E is replaced with E plus T, and this E is replaced with T in E is replaced with T, and this T is replaced with T into F. This T is replaced with F, and this F is replaced with lex dot value. This f is replaced with digit dot lex value, and here t is replaced with f dot value, f is replaced with digit dot lex value. So all these values, so it means this right side of values are replaced with its equivalent left side of values to evaluate the expression. So here the digit dot lex value in the expression is given. The first value is 3, second value is 5, last value is 4. So accordingly I substituted 3, 5, 4. So these three replaced with f dot value. This f dot value replaced with t dot value. This t dot value here I have a multiplication operator. Then here I have this digit dot lex value replaced with f dot value. So that here I am multiplying 3 into 5 is nothing but a 15 according to this statement. So this t into f is replaced with t dot value. This t dot value again replaced with e dot value. So here at e dot value I have a value is called 15. And here the right side of the tree I have 4. 4 replaced with f, f replaced with t. So here I have a 4. 15 plus 4. According to this production, E tends to E plus T. So 15 plus 4 is 19. That 19 is replaced with this E. And this E again replaced with this E. So $19. So this is the annotated parse tree. Now observe the parse tree. In this parse tree, each and every node is consists of some value. Observe here. Here I have value. This is one node. This is another node. This is another node. This is another node. This is another node. And this is another node. 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 So each and every node is consists some value, is called as a annotated parse tree. Now the next topic is types of attributes. So what are the types of attributes we have in this context-free grammar? So there are different types of attributes we have. The first one is called synthesized attribute. The synthesized attributes is an attribute of the non-terminal on the left-hand side of the production. This synthesized attributes represents information that is being passed up the parse tree. So simply, the synthesized attribute is nothing but an attribute where the root node is evaluated from its child nodes. Is called as a synthesized attribute. For example, here I have an expression A tends to BC. Here this A is evaluated from its child nodes B and C. Is called as a synthesized attribute. Now the next one is inherited attributes. Inherited attribute is nothing but a inheriting the value from parent node to child node is called as inherited attribute. Similarly, this inherited attributes, it is also inheriting value from its siblings, either from parent or from its siblings, is called as a inherited attributes. For example, if I have an expression A tends to BC, where the B is depends, the value of B depends on its A or else on its sibling C. Okay, so this is called inherited attribute. The next one is S attributed grammar. S attributed grammars are grammars which consist only the synthesized attribute, is called as a S attributed grammar. So this S attributed grammar is used to evaluate the parse tree in bottom up direction. Next, L attributed grammar. L attributed grammars are grammars which consist both synthesized as well as inherited. Then only we can say that L attributed attributes. Otherwise, it is not an L attributed grammar. So this L attributed grammar travels the parse tree in a direction is called as depth first and left to right parsing. For example, here I have an expression A tends to XYZ. This Y is evaluated from its parent node and this Y is evaluated from its child node X, and this Y is evaluated from its one more child node Z. Okay, so this is called what? Inherited attributes. but this is an inherited, but it is not an L attributed grammar. So according to the definition of L attributed grammar, which contains synthesized as well as inherited, but in this given grammar which contains only the inherited attributes, so it doesn't contain any synthesized attributes. So hence this the given grammar is not a L attributed grammar and also not a S attributed grammar. Thank you.